Welcome to more fans. My name is Composite Enerjoe, and today I'll be bringing my review of this big feller, the Transformers Beast Wars Transmetals Ultra Class Depthcharge. Depthcharge. There we go. There's a TH in there. And here he is in his alt mode, his beast mode, which is a robotic manta ray, which is one of, if not the largest species of ray in the family of all the ray fishes, you know, like stingrays, devil rays, and all that stuff. But Depthcharge here is based off one of the largest species, again, if not the largest, which is the manta ray. And here he is, and as you can see, he's a big feller. I'm having trouble just keeping him in frame here because of how long this tail is. But yeah, put it sideways here. You can see the whole thing. Check out all these details. The chrome, the nice, all the details on here. He has a little shark buddy here, which is from the show and is actually one of his accessories. And yeah, just check him out. All that nice bits of detail. And like all, I think like most Transmetals figures, he does come with his name typographed on him somewhere like on the chrome. So here it says Depthcharge because that's his name. And yeah. Very impressive beast mode. Very nice. And before we get the transformation, I do need to show one other mode that he has. Because I think all Transmetal figures came with a hidden third mode. You have their beast modes, their robot modes. But then they had a hidden third mode, which is kind of their getting around modes. It's like a mode that allows them to... still don't remember the term. But it's sort of their traveling modes. It's for them to sort of go faster. And for Depthcharge here, he basically turns into a spaceship, kind of. It basically, if you watch the show, it actually his travel mode looks similar to that of his spaceship that he comes in on. Which is how this works is that you lift this up, like so, rotate it around, you extend on these hinges. Oh, and I didn't mention it, but the manta ray mode had no articulation. The most you really have is that on the tail, it has 3 hinges there. But the thing is, mantas, I don't think it's supposed to move, but yeah. There's a hinge there, and that's about it. So yeah. So then you just rotate an angle. Like so. So lift this up. And I believe this is called his Space Cruiser mode. Again, it's different from character to character. But this allowed him to fly around. Unfortunately, the flaps on this thing, due to age, have like really loosened out. So it doesn't really hold in place as it used to. But you get the idea. It's supposed to like be like this. And he would do this on the show, and this would allow him to fly around. So he would sort of get out of the water and just fly. This was his flying mode. You have little boosters here. So yeah, that's his traveling mode. Just for the life of me, that's gonna kill me that I don't remember what's the word I'm looking for this. But yeah, but that's his third mode. So now let's get on to the actual transformation, which I kind of started ahead by grabbing this accessory. Which, let me take a closer look. It's basically a little mini shark gun, which in the show also doubled as like a shark drone. While in his beast mode, he would sort of launch this and it would go scouting around. And if you're noticing that he's missing something, that's because it broke, but this was one of how he would launch his missiles. I lost the missiles too, where you would put 2 missiles in here and then you would fire it by pulling this switch for this one and then this one for the other one. But this was broken and I lost the missiles, so sad. But still, the gun itself is still pretty much intact and still looks very nice. Nicely detailed. I'll put this off to the side. This thing was basically just pegged under here. Like, where is it? Like so. And there. And that's how you would store it in his beast mode. So, let's put this off to the side because that's for his, what was I going to say? His robot mode. And now, to continue with the transformation, we first have to take off his other accessory. Well, you don't have to take it off, but it is easier. You can just pull this out, and this forms either a spear slash a sword that he can hold in his beast mode, in his robot mode, not beast mode, in robot mode. This tail tip. So we'll put it off to the side. You can still transform with it attached. The only thing would just be like angled like so. Yeah, and like that is how you would do it. So let me just pull it, because it's going to be one of his accessories. Put it off to the side. So let's get on with his transformation. Pretty much the first step that you could do is this, putting it down. So the next up, is actually not too complicated. It just might throw you off the first time. So first things first, you start pop up, fold out, pop up, fold out. And then you just adjust these for a clearance. And then you pop this out, pop this one out. And then you lift up this whole piece. Just carefully lift up this piece. And then begin folding it down. And then you go back here, pull this down, then push this forward, swing this forward, and clip it there. And same on this side, clip it there, and these are his arms. And for this space, you just flip up here to cover that hole and to reveal his head, which is very cool and pretty accurate. And now for this piece, so lift these up for clearance. So lift up, and this you're supposed to collapse, like so. It all pretty much lines up if you do it correctly. Collapse like so, lift up. Oh, and then you can do it later, but you might as well do it now. You rotate the waist, like so, and then you collapse this, like so. It all lines up, and then you peg together these pieces. Just connect them, and it forms this piece, this peg, which you plug into there. And if it's done correctly, this all lines up. As for his feet, you split them open to reveal the heels, heels. And then his arms down. And then for his arms, you pop this open, move this up, rotate, and then push it back, close up. Other hand, do the same. There we go. I love when figures do this. I always thought this was a really cool feature of like how to hide their hands and stuff. And then for this part, this flap, you can just, doesn't really go anywhere, but you push it up and there you go. And under here's where you find his Energon chip, which I don't think it works anymore, but it would show that he's a maximal. Yeah, I don't think it shows anymore. And I can't get it, it's too dark, but it would show that it's a maximal. It's his rub sign. And then you push this down, and then you would use that as a third leg. And then for his manta wings, with this range of movements, you can pretty much do whatever you want with them, but the official way of doing it is something like this. How did I have it? I think I had it like this. I have this. Ah, here we go. I had it folded down. So I had this sort of angled down. So up, down. Like so. I had to look up a picture just to double check how this is supposed to look like. But yeah, it's supposed to be like this. And a nice little detail is that on the underside, they do have a nice sort of golden chromey, nice metallic maximal symbol. Very nice. So then you just line it up like so. You can pretty much do whatever you want, but this is, I think, the official way of doing it. And then he's really top heavy, which I think is my one negative with him, which I'll go into more detail later. But you're supposed to use this this piece here to allow him to stand up. And then, whoops, make sure he doesn't go in the hole. Whoa. That's not supposed to happen. Where is this from? Ah, in here. Again, take care of your figures, kids. As eventually they just fall apart. This is a pretty old figure. It's a good 10 years old now. No. This is actually now around 20 years old. From the time of this recording, this is around the 20-year-old figure. Oh, no. Huh. Don't fall on me now, please. Come on. Come on, did I do it right? Is that, oh no, it's upside down. Come on. There we go. Well, now you know if that pops up, it's just on a ball joint. So yeah, this is designed to use that as a third leg, as like a little tripod to keep them up. And there we go. Don't mess around with him too much. And there we go. After some hiccups, here is Depthcharge in his robot mode. And it looks awesome. I have nothing but positive things to say about this figure. So the one negative I will say is that he is incredibly top heavy, as you saw. And you have to use, because of the way this is designed, you have to use this tail as a way to hold him up in robot mode, which because of that, it does make posing him really, really annoying. Now, that aside, and I know that they could probably, turn people off from the figure, that to me doesn't bother me too much because it's still a fantastic figure, because they managed to cram, I think, all of these features, like all the features that pop up in the show, he has here in the toy form. And I kind of consider Depthcharge here to be one of the more... I don't have all the figures of the Beast Wars line. I would love to, but I don't have them all. But from what I've seen, he is probably one of the most accurate that I've encountered, both in appearance and in functions, in features, which is something I find rare. So all the stuff he has, I mentioned earlier this little shark gun. This doubles as a gun, which he just holds in any hand, like so. You just plug it in. And now he has his little shark gun. Pretty cool. And before I get to the accessories, but yeah, he does have this in the show. It's both a scout, a drone, and he turns it into like a gun. And this piece here, he turns into a sword. And one time I think he threw it as a spear. Just plug it into any hand, and now he has a sword. Really cool. But let's get on with articulation. Now, you saw earlier, I'm going to go a little bit out of order. You saw earlier, the tail here can go up and down and can rotate, but that just prevents from just causing them to fall over. As you saw with the wings, you can move these around, so you can even replicate him using it as a shield, like how he did on the show. Like he uses, I think he uses like to cover himself as both a shield and he just used it as a shield. But yeah, as you saw, this thing has a bunch of joints. There's one here, a swivel there. You have a ratchet swivel, a hinge there. This itself has a swivel. This itself has a swivel, another hinge, and that has a swivel. So yeah, there is articulation in his manta fins, wings. I call them wings, but I think these are supposed to be like fins, like massive fins. So yeah, in his his manta wings, fins, whatever. And then on top of that, these things all have hinges. So this has a hinge. This has one hinge. That has a floppy hinge on mine. These also have hinges, so you can kind of compact them. I don't fully understand how this one works, but yeah, it's supposed to compact them down. So let's just compact them down. Oh, I guess this is one way to sort of fold it down, because in the show he's able to compact these. So this kind of emulates it, unless I'm doing something wrong. But I like having it splayed out. It looks more silhouette-y. It looks cooler for me. So there's hinges there, hinges there, hinges there. There's hinges everywhere. This just his back alone is chock full of articulation. And now we go to the main body. His head is on a swivel, so it can rotate 360. There we go. Doesn't move up and down, although you can lift this up to make him look up, but then he has a hole in his chest. Well, besides the one he already has on his chest. His arms rotate 360, can go in and out, swivel at the arm, bend at the elbow. This fell off again. Oh boy. Again, take care of your figures, kids. There we go. Old figures. I wonder if that's going to happen to me when I'm old. Everything's just going to be falling off. What was I? Oh yeah, bend at the elbow, and that's it. If you want, you can open this up and use this as a weapon. Call this like an unofficial weapon mode. He just has a laser arm thing, like shockwave. I don't, but you can. He has a waist swivel, which is blocked by his fins, but he does have it. So if you sort of maneuver this around, you can give him a waist, which he does have, which is up here, weirdly enough. He has a ball joint there, and that's it. Ball joint, and due to transformation, he gets a double bend at the knee. Very nice. Double bend at the knee, and little up and down at the feet. And yeah, for such a big figure, for such a bulky figure, he does have articulation. Again, his biggest negative is that he's so top heavy, and he's designed to use this as a third leg to keep him up. Bit of a shame, posing him's a pain, but hey, he can do it. No, and one other thing he can do, which I kind of showed off when I lifted this up, is that he actually came with these little discs, which you can put here. He originally came with 7, I only have 1 left. Yeah, I think he still looks great, and the fact that I had him for all these years, but yeah. So, yeah, the little disc thing. And to fire it, which he did do on the show, you push this fin back here, and you kind of hold this as a handle, and you press it down, and you fire it. That's how that works. And to load him back up, originally this came with 7, you just sort of pop them down there, and fire. You can also, since I only have 1, you can also just push it back in there, and it still works. So yeah, these little, I think these are called like grenade discs or something. Or as Cheetor mentioned it, I think power pizzas or whatever. I think that's what he said. And then you just keep doing this. I don't know if like you can, if something similar would work here, but this is the one that he comes with, is these gold ones. So yeah. So now let's get let's get him all weaponed up. Here we have his gun. Here we have his tail spear, or his cutlass, I think it's called in the wiki. But yeah, here we have it. And darn it, go back down. Here he is. And like I said, this is a great figure. Now, I'm guessing a lot of what I'm saying is due to nostalgia, but I think he still holds up. He's a nice bulky figure with a lot of features, and the best part is that he is one of the most accurate figures I've actually encountered. Like, they basically covered all the bases of what you're able to do with this figure. And it's just, he looks great. I didn't get a close-up on the head sculpt, but the head sculpt looks very nice. And it's, again, pretty darn accurate. Even down to the little ridges that he has on his mouth here. That detail is there, too. So, yeah, like I'm already saying, I love this figure. I honestly recommend it. Like, if you're going to get Beast Wars figures, make sure you get Depthcharge here. I think he's really great. Just be aware that he's incredibly top-heavy, and he uses his tail as a sort of tripod thing. And let's get on with some size comparisons. Here is Deluxe Ratchet and Legion Cliff Jumper. As you can see, he is massive compared to them. And thanks to the tail, his Mantum, his beast mode is also, if not even more so, massive. It's at least a whole lot longer. So yeah, he's a big boy, which is good in this case. And what else can I say? He's an awesome figure. For such an old figure, I think he holds up very well, and I think he's better than most modern day figures, in my opinion. Now, that's probably nostalgia talking, but I don't care. I think this figure is great. He holds, and just recommend them from here to high heaven. He's just a fantastic figure. So yeah, this has been my review of the Transformers, Beast Wars Transmetals Ultra Class Depthcharge. This is Composite Enerjoe signing off. Peace out.